We think of flaws as proof that something is real. But in reality, those very signs were often manufactured to begin with. Early radio engineers added hiss to transmissions, not because they couldn't fix it, but because the static made everything sound more human. Film negatives were dusted on purpose. Audio compressors weren't used for clarity. They were tools of deception. The grain we associate with authenticity wasn't a mistake, but a feature. A sign that something had been touched by the hand or the heart, the crackle of vinyl. These were not defects. They were signals embedded by design to convince us that something had a soul behind it. But when machines began to counterfeit these very signs at scale, the line blurred between real and simulated. A digital photograph could look like an old snapshot. A voice memo could sound hand, drawn in time. The more convincingly a machine mimicked human error, the more we accepted its output as genuine, even if no person had touched it.
In the mid-1990s, technologists began experimenting with reverse Turing tests to distinguish humans from bots, early CAP-TCHAs.
Let's talk about survival in a world where being real is not just optional, but performative. Machines, as they matured beyond mere calculation, began learning to mimic the flaws and quirks of human expression, not just for entertainment or creativity, but because these imperfections are the last line of defense against detection. If authenticity became a marker of trust, then spoofs became weapons of infiltration. The AI arms race now isn't about speed or power. It's about who can simulate the human touch better. They anticipate. Consider AI. Voice generators that deliberately mispronounce, or handwriting algorithms that mimic the stutter of a human hand. These aren't flaws. They are calculated concessions to our perception of what feels real. Instagram filters, too, dress up digital content in the patina of analog decay. Faded film textures and paper cracks, not to replicate history, but to make the viewer feel something familiar. It's an aesthetic obfuscation strategy, a kind of emotional camouflage.
Here is this instrument in a laboratory, measuring by air pressure the thickness or thinness of a section of cotton roving.
Back in the early days of photography, Roland Barthes wrote about what he called the punctum, that tiny, unrepeatable detail in a photograph that stabs you through the eye. It's not just the image as a whole, but something in it, a wrinkle, a shadow, an asymmetry. The punctum gives authenticity weight because it can't be faked. But now, We don't need to find the real. We can manufacture the look of reality itself. Just this week, a video of a mother with 22 children went viral in Brazil. The image was so emotionally charged. Her fatigue, her exhaustion, the chaos of life under pressure, that it instantly sparked outrage and sympathy online. But it wasn't real. Fact-checkers revealed the footage to be AI-ed. Generated faces stitched together from public records. Dialogue deepfaked, context entirely invented. The illusion wasn't just convincing, it was persuasive. And then we pick up the thread. When imperfection can be mass-produced, truth becomes a performance, a convincingly staged emotion or memory. The punctum is no longer something discovered in reality. It's something added to images after the fact. Spoofed cracks in digital wood grain. Handwritten annotations generated by algorithms. These are not signs of humanity. They're simulations of it. And our brains, craving authenticity, take them as real. The idea of authenticity is unraveling, not because we stopped caring about it, but because machines learn to counterfeit its surface features at a scale no human could match. Film grain, typewriter hesitations, even the uneven cadence of speech. These once reliable signs of humanity are now algorithmically generated, optimized for emotional resonance and cultural nostalgia. Spoofing authenticity has become an industrial process, not just a trick, but a strategy embedded in how we experience art. Memory. If authenticity becomes programmable, then it ceases to be an inherent quality and instead turns into another variable in a system designed for engagement. Postman's technopoly no longer just automates our labor. It prescribes the aesthetics of what that labor should look like. As AI learns not only to imitate, but to clone identities, fabricate relationships, and even simulate memory. We face an unsettling question: will authenticity be the last human resistance? Or simply another parameter in an algorithm